You about to get spat at?
That's what she was doing yesterday.
What? What's your problem? Oh, don't you dare.
I mean, I don't have any choice but just to... You do it.
She hasn't given the warning sounds like that aggressively in a while.
I know, right? I don't know what her problem is.
Is it because you're hormonal? You got a little imbalance? Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Aaron. I'm trying to get a shot of the llamas back there. So, I wanted to give you a garden update. I guess that's what you call this. I'm going to show you right now the harvest or the yield or whatever you want to call it from our garden. I've got to go inside. Let's go see. That was it. Pretty good, right? So I'll show you the raised beds right now. That's them. This is all, it's kind of a farce. I'm making light of the situation. I wanted to find a picture of somebody else's garden or some random thing on Google Images and put it as the thumbnail, and man, this lighting is bad. Put it as the thumbnail and make a real clickbait title, but I can't bring myself to do that. So the other night, after Beth and I were feeding the llamas, I asked her what happened. Now I know what happened, but I wanted to hear it from her, and I didn't want to just tell it to you without giving her a chance to defend herself. So let's take a look at that. So while we're here, what happened to the garden?
I killed it. Thank you.
Well, I'm not being accusatory. I just want to know what actions were taken before the garden stopped growing.
It was doing well. My mom came down and she helped me plant the garden, and we had peppers and we had tomatoes, and it was doing well, and we had our first tomato and everything was going good. And then I was like, well, you know what's better than good is great.
Right.
And so how do you get great? You put fertilizer on it.
What fertilizer did you put on it?
Liquid fertilizer, Miracle Grow.
Okay. So this was after we put raised bed soil in it, which was some sort of a compost mix. And then we put a little bit of llama manure on it and some fireplace ashes, and then Miracle Grow.
And it was working really well.
Too well.
No, not too well until I put the fertilizer on it and I burned
You mean
all the
Miracle
plants up.
Grow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it was Miracle Grow fertilizer.
Okay.
Liquid fertilizer. And it burned all the plants up and killed them all. Killed them. Dead. Dead.
See, I wanted that to come from your mouth. I didn't want to just tell the story and not have you around to defend yourself. So I thought I would ask you what happened. And
I think that's what happened. I mean, they died within like literally 2 days. They were dead.
Right.
You saw that. You were like, what happened to the garden? I was like, oh.
And the blackberry bushes.
I didn't put any on the blackberry bushes.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Did you overwater them?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because
How do you take care of blackberry
those
bushes?
things grow wild on their own. You don't have to do anything.
I don't think I...
Let's go eat.
I know
dinner.
I killed my herb garden.
Yeah. All that stuff I got you for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I killed all that.
Gone.
There's my black thumb to match my black eye.
It's not that black anymore. It's more yellow with a little bit of maroonish. Almost matches your hat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have more cherry tomatoes over here, right?
Yes.
Let's see these.
They're okay looking. They're not great looking.
Okay, so we got some cherry tomato plants. And
you guys need to tell us why they have the brown spots on the leaves. Because our last ones didn't have that.
Yeah, what are those brown spots? So the story with these is we got one plant, and I think Beth accidentally broke the stalk.
Yep.
Is that right? So I told her to just chop up one of the little tomatoes that was on it, and we actually ended up with 4 plants from that. 2 are a bit smaller, but we've got quite a few tomatoes on there. So tell us what the brown spots are, or why they're there, or whatever.
It doesn't normally have that much water in there. I just watered them and it kind of soaked through.
We're doing the water from the bottom soak up through the soil method. Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I was just trying to think up an extraordinarily long name.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Look, he's about to get it. Oh! He's just now getting confident enough to do that kind of thing.
There he is.
Uh-oh. Now what?
Oh, I called it.
You said
I
it.
totally called it.
You said how long until he gets in the tree?
Yesterday I said that. Calhoun. What are you doing? Are you scared of the camera? Are you camera shy?
He's like, oh no, I have to go.
You camera shy? Well, we know how to get him out of the tree. Just point the camera at him. So there you have it. Mistakes were made. It's the first time we've ever tried to grow anything, and you know, to be honest, it was her deal. I just do the manual labor. Speaking of, I've got some stuff coming up I've got to get done. The weather's getting nicer in my opinion. Fall is like the best time of year. We really only get like 3 days of it, and then we go like straight to winter. But I'm standing here. I keep meaning to do some sort of like a layout video, kind of like a tour, like this is here, this is there, just so you guys kind of have a frame of reference. But the house is right there. That's the back porch. And then this is the shop. This is the lean-to side of the shop. I need to put a rain gutter up there because all the water just runs down and it kind of pools. It's kind of slanted toward the lean-to, and it's a bad situation, but we want to do a little bit of fence reconfiguration over here. It's pretty windy. I hope the wind guard is doing its thing. So, you know, the llama pasture is right there. There's the shed at the back of the yard, and then, you know, llama pasture all back there. There's the lean-to where we normally feed them, past the squeeze chute. Well, I don't know that we're going to really want to walk out there and feed them if it's snowing, or, you know, you've already seen what happens when it rains. So we've already got, I think that's a cattle panel right there. And these other things we got a lot of hog panels. So I did some measuring today. Actually, I have the stuff right here. I got some T-posts and a couple of the hog panels. And I measured, and what we want to do is kind of cut the barbed wire. Let me see what I'm pointing at. That T-post right there, and that post, we're going to take that off and then just kind of make a little chute and kind of make a little pen right here. Normally they don't care if it's raining or snowing, they just stand out in it. But we would like to give them the opportunity to have some shelter, and I think that they might be more likely to hang out in here since it's a little more spacious than that one over there. Also, it faces east, Generally the weather patterns here, stuff typically comes from southwest to northeast, especially in the winter time. We do get some stuff coming from the north. The weather patterns have been a little wonky this year, but generally it goes, you know, southwest to northeast. So you really want your lean-tos here facing east, because that is where they're the most protected. So we've been talking about a lot of other things, like putting concrete floor in the shop and concreting over here, but we figured we'd just go ahead and kind of section this off, and then planning on doing some goat fencing this winter. And I was gonna fence the big 7-acre area, but that's a lot of fence. So we've got the llama pasture. I think it's about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 acres. So I think we're going to do that instead. I'm going to use most of the existing posts, so I don't have to get an auger and do all that. But I think that's the plan. It's really hard to make goat-proof fencing unless it's electric, because goats are pretty crafty from what I understand. And I've done a lot of reading, I've watched a lot of videos, and I think the most important thing is to keep goats happy where they are, so they don't have a need to try to get outside the fence. And if they've got 3 acres, I mean, we're only going to get like probably 5 or 6 the first year. 3 acres is a ton of space for that few goats. So I think that's about it. I really kind of just wanted to make light of our garden situation. All the things I bought Beth for Valentine's Day, I got her, you know, all those herbs and stuff so she can make a little herb garden. It's all dead, with the exception of the cherry tomato plants that came off of a cut up tomato that she just put in the dirt. So I think we're going to try to do a bigger garden next year, or we're definitely going to do it differently. I just want to put it in the ground. That shed, we're going to try to move it somehow and put a gate there so we can get straight into the pasture if we want, because, you know, that's where their water and stuff is. And if I want to clean out the bucket, like, I've got to walk all the way around. So I'm going to figure that out. I'll probably have Beth do some videoing. I'll kind of just, you know, figure it out as I go, and we'll go from there. So as for our brown spots on the tomato leaves, if you guys know what that is, please tell us, because we had a cold snap. I think it got down into the 40s a couple nights last week. It's mostly been like low 70s, maybe low 80s at the highest the last week or so, and I think we're not supposed to get much hotter than that. We definitely do get some 80-degree days during November, December, sometimes January. It's weird, but it might just be getting too cold for the tomatoes. I don't know, but if you know, please tell us, leave us a comment. So that'll do it, guys. I'm gonna go do my Sunday stuff, get ready for work. Beth's taking a nap. I was totally prepared to walk in there and tell her how proud of her I was for not taking a nap, but she was asleep. So, you know, she's a napper. Anyway, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Leave us some comments. We'll see you in the next one.